Hello and welcome to Cinema Express. My name is Ram Venkat Srikar. Today we have with us production designer Avinash Kolla. Some of his most prominent films include Mahanati, Shyam Singaroy, Jersey, and now most importantly, Major. Hello, sir.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. So, sir, I was reading an interview of yours where you had mentioned that your journey began with Srimantudu and then you debuted with Krishnagade Veera Prema Kada, then like many films like Lai, Mr. Majnu, Mahanati, and now finally Major. How has this, it's been 6 years since you made your debut, right? How has this journey been like?
So journey was really thrilling because somewhere somehow I think I am lucky enough to have exposure and got chances to work with different kinds of films with a different
Hmm.
background, which was
Hmm.
always encouraging me to do a better job. So yeah, I'm really happy with what happened during my journey for the 6 years and
Hmm.
what we achieved as a team and uh, the projects which we accomplished. And I think, yeah, I'm tremendously happy for it.
Okay. Now, this is a segment called Express Explores, where we talk to craftsmen, like particular craftsmen, like cinematographers, production designer, to understand more about the craft and their contribution to the craft as well. So, I would like to ask you, what is it that fascinates you about production designing or art direction? What is it that personally fascinates you?
See, every person might have some tastes and vision or visual which they like or which they really are interested in. The
Hmm.
only place where which we can keep it to show is
Hmm.
films, design wise and structural elements, including the constructions and everything. So
Hmm.
these are the things which excites me when coming to production design because you have your own thing to tell a story, what director is intending to tell to the audience in a
Hmm.
visual manner. I think art and production design are the two things which makes the film or the show
Hmm.
what it had to be seen to the audience wise and what will replicate the scene or what will replicate the timeline of the film where
Hmm.
you need to take care about the elements shown in the film or maybe sometimes the characterization has a undercurrent story background running on the
Hmm.
walls or maybe the house, maybe the social aspect of the family where
Hmm.
they are standing, it's class or lower class or
Hmm.
uh, what conditions they are living. So
Hmm.
we need to have a lot of knowledge or at least an idea of things that
Hmm.
how who might get the difference for the audience to
Hmm.
feel what the
Hmm.
director is trying to convey to the story.
Okay.
So I think we should be very much intact with what is the content driven to the audience and how we can
Hmm.
achieve it. Colors and structural aspects, elements, and sometimes it is all about your vision. Like if you see Sham Singh Roy, the temple which has been built and erected as a set is a fiction. It never existed, or it was never there in such style or something. So we had
Yeah.
to few things which are related to Bengal and take few conditions of the geographical terrain and how it
Hmm.
could be. It's purely an imagination and a fiction
Hmm.
where it gives you the audience element that it existed.
Hmm.
So they would connect better to the script and the story and visually.
You used the word visual, right? That's, I think that's quite important for anyone who is contributing to the visual storytelling. So tell me, sir, when you read a script, you form a vision in your head, right? Is that the vision that you chase when you are practically implementing it?
Yes, yes, definitely yes.
Oh.
Because when before reading the script, we will definitely have a narration
Hmm.
from the director. So when
Hmm.
he is trying to narrate the script from his point of view,
Hmm.
there will be definitely some elements uh, where we need to have to cater. Like sometimes, like the story demands such certain location, or the story demands certain kind of vision,
Hmm.
or maybe like you can take it like it's a Telangana village or Andhra village, or it's a North Indian thing, Bengal and all. So if you have an experience of seeing such things, it will immediately strike you in your mind. And once the narration is happening, you will definitely try to visualize in your own thing, where you will imagine that this is how the setup is going to be, or this is how the house is going to be, or the what you can say, the location should be, to enhance the vision. See, so yeah, 99% that is always during the time of narration, we will try to have a feel or a visual in our mind, where we will try to achieve it. And we definitely will start doing some research work and all in the background, where if we need to improvise on the things in the vision wise and some better output, to achieve a better output, I think, yeah, we'll definitely chase, as you asked, like what we wish to see.
So you had stated in an interview that Jersey was shot a lot on sets, but it was so realistic that people felt it was shot on real locations. This reminded me of something Sabu Cyril said about Maniratnam's Kannathil Muttamittal. All those Sri Lanka portions, they were all actually created from the scratch, but then he missed out a few awards because the jury and everybody thought they were all real locations. So tell me, as a production designer, I know that you have a vision and you want to do justice to the story, but as an individual, which one do you enjoy creating the most? One that shows your signature and your work, or one that blends into the milieu of the story?
See, as a production designer, the job role should be that you should be achieving what looks very realistic. You see the awards, jury thing, and all these things. It's a different story. Okay, how they understand, how they take it. But ultimately, you are successful if the audience didn't find out that it is a set. That is what you're supposed to do, and that is what will definitely fit in for a film. Is what I believe.
Okay.
And the coming to just something, whatever you ask, it will always be within me when I cater about things or plan things, or how I do the setup, or what colors I am using and all. So the signature is always there with you. You don't have to portray it in a different manner and separately. We need to achieve the realism, is what I feel is right.
Okay. So now Major is one film that I feel that would have given you the opportunity to be grand as well as realistic, right? Because the locations where the film is set in, especially the Taj, they are still very much there and people know how they look. Even a common man can go and see how it looks. So was that a challenge, that it has to be accurate, but also in a way it has to be cinematic? How did you balance that?
See, the major challenge was there are a lot of films which were based on that 26 by 11 attack. But by the time when we started work on this project, there were already, I think, some 3 or 4 projects done and released. So what we understood is people never got an opportunity, or maybe the script didn't demand them to portray anything related to Taj. Especially it was a kitchen kind of a thing, and maybe Leopold and station. There are other aspects which people have made the film. So that was one challenge. So we couldn't get a reference point if someone have done it already. So it's like we should start from scratch, and we need to try to achieve it. So while trying to do this, when we went to ask for permissions to shoot in Taj or try to adapt Taj, we were not encouraged, because like it's always a branding thing, and
it's a tragedy anyway.
And they might not be comfortable giving us information and stuff. So that was a challenge. So it's like see, unless and until you go into a Taj, you might have not seen Taj. You can't imagine Taj, as I told you at this point. It has to be definitely, because there might be people who have definitely seen it and who definitely understand like how it is right or wrong. So our motive was to achieve it as precise as possible. So we had to stay, me and my team had to stay there for a couple of days, try to click something and try to analyze the height visually after back to Hyderabad. And we started sketching up, and we made sure what are the main elements and how practical lights were installed and what kind of lights they were
Right.
using, and even the flooring texture. So all these elements we try to recreate it. And if you see, we have built all the sets related to Taj, what you see in the film, were never shot in real locations. Everything was a set.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we divided a Taj into several sections
Okay.
basing on food requirement, like the central staircase where it has a predominant clock and Tata statue. Even we had to make sure the carpet color what they used in the wall colors, and some of the art installations, because Taj holds one of very major paintings, like such as M.F. Hussain paintings and all on the walls of. So we had to recreate such paintings in the reception area. And the other section what we divided was the sea launch. The sea launch element where most of the sequences were there were also built, making sure the actual sizes of the place and the color, because the sea launch has a little sea green kind of a color on it. So we even made sure the colors which they followed, and even upholstery, even furniture, made sure we had recreated it, because we had to fire them up, we had to break them up. So we had to definitely create our own stuff. And central staircase, sea launch, and even the corridors elements of north wing and east wing, we had to create, and exterior facades where most of the scenes were shot. So yeah, bits and pieces we have made the complete sets of Taj what are required for the film. And one more thing what we made other than Taj for this film is a Gateway of India. We had no permission or space to shoot at live location there. So we had to erect even the gateway location, because most of the operations were done at that as a base.
Wow.
Yeah. So in that way, I think, yeah, we achieved it, because I got a lot of calls and people started sharing views that who have stayed in Taj has called me and told like I can feel it. It's the same way I had seen it, and maybe like they felt nostalgic, like it was really shot in real Taj or so. So they were checking on me whether how I got permission to shoot there.
So something that you just told me fascinates me. All the research that you did about Taj was when you were staying there. Like you would be staying there, you were taking pictures. You roamed the entire Taj and did that. Oh
Yes.
wow! How many days did that take?
I think we were for 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
The Taj, because there was a tour actually which Taj offers to the people who stay there.
Okay.
So where share some information regarding the architectural things, how it was built, but what is the feature of it, and from where they got that element and all stuff. So which gives you a better idea of why it is there and what it is there. If you see, the Taj has a story that it was architectural mistake of the person engineer who has done that. It was supposed to be inverted. Apparently the blueprint of the building was maybe read in a wrong way, and they built it in the opposite direction.
Okay.
So it took history regarding its own.
Okay.
So the pool area what Taj is existing is supposed to be the entrance, but artistically I think I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was supposed to build and it was built in another way. So it was supposed to have sea view, but it was inverted. So all these conditions keeping in mind, so we understand better about the architecture of the Taj, because it is a jewel of India, which has a very prestigious thing and one of the oldest historical hotels we have. So yeah, the elements and the deco elements or the signatures, whatever they were having. So we had a better idea to understand how they were done and the prints and patterns. So yes, because we took pictures of the places during the tour and the lobby and area and all. So we had to analyze from our pictures like what would be the height of it or proportion of it. Trying to scale, seeing an image, we had made our own designs.
So you also had created the exterior. I think Adivi Sesh said in an interview.
Yes.
Okay. Exterior also was created with that original size and scale.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
What you see in the
okay.
frame was created, not the whole exterior building. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Now, the film actually makes use of Taj visually also, right? The way it places cameras, the way cameras move. So, did you have to do anything in extra to accommodate the movement of camera, or did the camera team come down and did they fit into what you guys had created? How was that collaboration like?
See, basically, the scenes were written in the way they were shot, and I think
Okay.
in when we're doing a technique or when we are editing a set, those things were kept in mind.
Hmm.
The access of the camera and the entry shot and how we were supposed to plan the shots and all. So
Hmm.
I think yeah, it's collaborated team effort. Whatever you see in the film.
Were you involved in the storyboarding, sir?
Yes, we did a pre-production work way before the film started,
Hmm.
especially for Taj scenes, not the complete
Okay.
film, but yeah.
Okay, how many days did it take for you guys to build the sets actually?
See, sets almost took, if you, because as I told you already that we made in bits and pieces, basing on the
Right.
shoot.
Huh.
So it's a journey of I think a year and a half. I
Wow.
think cumulatively calculating all the sets, but
Hmm.
at a time for a particular set, if I had to say, I think yeah, it took almost 2 months of time period to structurally erect because we had to build almost four stories of or four levels of corridor where
Hmm.
we had to make sure it holds the number of people working at different levels.
Hmm.
So that was a challenging thing.
Okay, so the final moments of Major Sandeep, where he sits down and he's waiting for uh, one terrorist who is hiding in a who's hiding in a room that's diagonal to him. So now that's a scene that's based on the location, right? Where he's sitting is quite important. Where the terrorist is hiding is
True.
very important. So, what was the research from the film's team like? So, did you guys know that this is exactly where it happened? The pillar.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. We have such informations with us
Okay.
because it was an open information. There is nothing
Hmm.
secrecy about it and how events happen because the team has been researching with the people who got escaped from that event and who
Hmm.
were there part of that event seeing and their experiences were shared. So
Hmm.
uh, army people's information and inputs like what happened and how he went in and who were there and
Hmm.
how many people he saved and how he had to do stuff and all. So
Hmm.
I think yeah, it was real-time information what we went into that thing where is the last thing is there.
So, Adivi Sesh said in an interview that you had to blast the set towards the end, right? Was
Yeah,
that painful?
yeah, it's intended to be burnt, so we know it before, but still, yeah, you will have a feeling that something you created and you're just burning it down to ashes. Yes, you will have
Hmm.
it emotionally connected.
So, because it was going to be burned, were there any specific inputs that you had given, like usage of the material?
Yes, 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 yes. We
How
made
is that
sure.
done?
See, because we need to use fire resistant materials.
Hmm.
Mostly, we had to go with POP
Hmm.
plaster. Uh, we have avoided fiber things in the set
Okay.
because it
Hmm.
can be flammable. So, and structure was made sure used in iron and metal rather than wood.
Oh.
So, yeah, such conditions were taken care. And coming to the flooring and all, we made sure it is been taken care whenever the fire is lit. We are ready for the floor needs to be rearranged or redone with the mat or
Okay.
tiles we had.
What's the best compliment you received for Major?
See, Major, I feel uh, when people called and asked that whether you shot in Taj because it was based on the Taj tag film.
Hmm.
I think it would be proud for me, or I would be very happy cherishing the moment when people felt it was shot real, and when they realize it is a set, the expression on the face or the awestruck moment with
Hmm.
their expression will definitely make me happy. I think, yeah, most of the Bollywood people, because my producer was sharing these thoughts, like when they were screening in Hindi, most of the Bollywood people checked on him, like how they had to
Okay.
shoot in Taj and what is their experience. And
Hmm.
once they realized it was said, I think they were unable to even believe it at some point. So
Okay.
yeah, I think, yeah, that is the thing we have to do.
Nice. What's next for you, sir?
My next project is
Yeah.
Dasra. Okay, so
Okay.
we are just shooting. The
Hmm.
shooting is going on. So I think by end of this year, I think, yeah, that will be a very good film.
Okay,
Good luck.
lovely. Looking forward to that film. Once again, congratulations for Major, and all the best for everything that you have to offer. Thank you, sir. I had a nice time talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.